5, 4, 3, 2.
What is good, everybody? How are we doing today?
What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
Real good. Real good. Welcome to episode 104. We're diving in, making this one a banger per usual. Having who regained the lead, our special guest who has regained the lead for most appearances on our show, Mr. Matthew Mebane. Glad to have him on tonight. Going to be talking a whole bunch of great stuff. Diving in, Matt. How we doing today?
I'm doing good. How y'all doing?
Good. Same as
Matthew,
normal.
what's going on, my guy? Honestly, I feel like at this point, you're just like the staple of the show. You're always on. Always a great thing to have you on. So you might as well go ahead and just make you a full-time guy at this point.
I think
This page,
I gotta keep earning that role at this point. I ain't earned it yet.
you're getting there though. Been on two of our feature episodes, including our more recent one, our strikeout competition, where I tried to strike this future MLB out. Didn't go very well, but not to nobody's surprise. We all kind of knew it was coming. But I think we had totaled he hit 17 home runs off of me, something like that. So that was a new one. But yeah, you're almost at that goal. We'll almost put you at the platinum level. We'll put you at gold. Is that you're going to humble yourself to that right now?
Yeah, I think that's good for all of us.
That sounds good. Well, how you been? How's baseball been doing? What you been up to?
Been going good. Got back about 2 weeks ago from playing summer ball. Played 60 games in 62 days.
You say 60 games in 62 days?
Started 58 out of the 60.
Impressive. How many dingers?
Yeah, I think I had 5 home runs. Just a lot of bad hit balls at wrong times, but I actually hit a broken bat home run. First
You broke the bat on the home run?
Yeah, you don't see that very often with a wood bat.
No, that's kind of a rarity, I would say.
So a lot of that has to do with just like me. I mean, I'm always trying to get stronger and hit the ball harder, but that's a very rewarding point when that happens. When you hit it, you feel the bat break, and you still know it was a home run off the bat. Still, pretty cool feeling.
Yeah, that's definitely a memorable one.
I'll tell you that. I bet you the adrenaline off of that, like you ready, you throw it, and you hit it. As soon as you hit it, you see it in the air in the bat, bro. You just like you had to feel like the man when that happened. Like
so I actually I have the bat right over here, and it cracked all the way down the handle. So it didn't break into two, but it cracked all the way down the handle. Maybe one day we can do that as a giveaway for the fans out there. It'd be pretty cool.
Well, is it viewable, or is it up in a memorable? Is it locked in a case right now?
No, so I've just got it sitting there right now, just kind of chilling.
Okay, but, is it worthy enough to make an appearance, or?
I mean, yeah, I'll grab it for y'all.
Word. I mean, it's gonna tell us about it and keep it that close. I mean, come on, it's like putting candy in right of a kid.
You guys seen it here first. We're getting the first look at the Matthew Mebane broken bat. He broke his bat in his first strike. Not strike. His first home run.
The crack bat, I'll call it. That's a good one.
Crackback.
That's it. Crackback.
Like
so sorry about the phone falling, but
no big.
Had to grab the bat. So this is where it snapped in half, all the way down to there.
Yeah.
And just to show y'all how many times I normally hit the barrel, that is all the barrel marks from baseballs all the way down. So this is probably about where the ball hit to crack the bat, if I had to guess.
Mother God, when you said you cracked the bat, you were again. Like split.
I mean,
the fact that you Package
got
over
to
at
the
that.
point where you can kind of
Oh man.
it.
Yeah.
It went 400. I think it was 411 feet.
Well, you got to sign that thing and use it as memorabilia right there. The broken bat home run. I don't think it's ever been done.
Well, maybe someday we can give it away on here. That'd be pretty cool to do.
I'm
Well,
always down for that.
yeah, I'll sign it and give it away to somebody.
That
Hey,
sounds like a
listen,
fun time.
whoever in the future gets this bet, you guys, I'm telling you what, save it. Save it. It's gonna be signed. Obviously, we got a future MLB star here. Save the bet. I don't care what y'all do. Don't go outside and play with it. Don't tell your friends. Who cares? Save the bet. All right. It's gonna be worth. It's gonna be worth a lot of money later on in the future. That bet right there. That is absolutely crazy. I've never seen a crack bet. That's obviously, you see the movies, the bat, just breaks and the snap in half. But crack bet. That is, man, that's amazing.
That's impressive.
Yeah. So actually started a new training regimen lately where I don't know if y'all know anything about Bryson DeChambeau with golf, but he speed trains his golf swing to hit it harder. Well, that's what I've been going through with my baseball swing, trying to gain more velo off the bat. So the last time I had a speed training session on Tuesday, 2 days ago, I was up to 106.7 off of the tee, just hitting the ball as hard as I could.
Now you know I was scared to death when he hit one right back up the middle and I hit the ground as fast as I did. Mother of God, 107.
Hey, if I was you, I would have threw my pitch and ran off. I would have threw my pitch and oh my God, just ran off. Just don't even try to show back up.
Talking about that right there, that actually happened in the major leagues a couple days ago with forgot who it was pitching to Ronald Acuna, a position player, and he blooped it up there and ran backwards before the ball got to him.
I saw that.
Wow.
They got a kick out of that. Well, hey, he's getting ready he's getting ready in the field. He probably, as fast as he threw that ball, he had enough time to go back there, make a sandwich, probably grab a New Jersey. He had plenty of time before that thing got to the plate.
Exactly.
Speaking of baseball, big news in the league. Did you get a chance to see Michael Lorenzo's no-hitter for the Phillies the other day?
Yeah, I did. And I think the most impressive part was him throwing a no-hitter in white Vans. Never seen that happen before.
That's a first for everything, especially that.
He pitched in white Vans. Guarantee you that's the first no-hitter thrown in Vans.
Yeah, those things are going to the Hall of Fame for two different reasons, if you ask me. No, it was really, really cool. Great to see. He was his first home start in front of his family and everybody. Very, 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 very nice. See a no-hitter, 14th in history. But those shoes are going to be. Speaking of valuables, those things are going to be. They'd be worth a lot if it wasn't going straight to the Hall of Fame. But they're going to be. It's heading to Cooperstown along with his game performance. It's a memorable one to say the least.
Yeah, and what really stood out to me was that you normally see in a no hitter there's always a couple of balls that are hit pretty well that just are hit right at people, but he actually worked through a lot of soft contact through that game too. That was pretty impressive. That you don't really see someone throw 9 innings and not give up hard contact at some point too.
Right. Yeah, obviously.
Agreed.
Not the baseball guy here, but at the end of the day, I feel like if you're pitching 9 innings, I'm sure your arm's going to get fatigued at some point. So, like I said, given that didn't happen, I think he struck out 5, walked 4. That right there just sounds like a stat line all in itself.
Yeah, he pitched a masterpiece. It's not no hits, and it's amazing to go 9 innings and only for the 5 strikeouts, you thought it'd be more for a no hitter, but he just got ground balls, and that's the easiest method because a strikeout you need at least 3 pitches, sometimes even more to strike somebody out. But ground outs can keep you going.
Also in the major leagues, I mean, with those world class hitters, like you don't see many 1, 2, 3 strikeouts. Like, so,
Yeah.
I mean, it's normally I can speak from my point of view. Like, I strike out a pretty decent amount, but like I'm not many 1, 2, 3 strikeouts. I'm working the count with. My goal is if I'm going to strike out, I'm at least going to see 5 pitches. So a 2-2 count, strike out on that. Like, you just can't strike out 3 straight pitches.
Oh.
And, like, for him to be able to go out there and, like, the 5 strikeouts, I mean, it's pretty crazy to think that he got 22 outs in another fashion without giving up a hit.
It was amazing.
And I think you touched on it. I think you touched on it, Matthew, where you mentioned like many people seem to forget stuff like that. These are professional hitters. You know, these aren't your average guys in the park. You know, just regular guys. These are professionals. And I mean, for you to strike out some professionals, I mean, just the amount of consistency that you got to have in your pitch is just absolutely insane. I think that's probably a strikeout to me. Honestly, again, not being a baseball guy, but I genuinely think a strikeout got to be one of like the most fascinating things in all of sports. If you can pitch a strikeout, I mean that's not a strikeout, but if you can pitch a game like that, I mean I feel like stuff like that is a beauty to watch. I would pay money to sit in the stands to watch a pitcher do something like that. I think that is absolutely amazing, all in its own.
Masterpiece. Think about the people that left after 6 innings or something like that. Because it was pretty much a blowout at the end. Some people might have left.
Yeah, it was what 7-0.
Yeah, 7-0. Yeah.
And I mean, a lot of it too is like people don't like you're saying about the professional athletes. Like, I mean, I've played against a guy that plays on the Nationals. CJ Abrams. He's a shortstop. From Atlanta. He's from Atlanta, so I played him in travel ball probably 4 or 5 years ago at this point. But like he's a guy that you see playing against like other guys, and he stands out on the field every time. And then he goes and face Michael Lorenzen, and he looks like a little league hitter. Like it's pretty impressive that you turn hitters into that.
That just shows you what a step up the next level truly is. Oh, yeah. Impressive all around though. Michael Lorenzo stepping up big. Baseball has been heating up in general. The wild card race is very prevalent, especially in the National League. And then we also have home run chases and historic seasons with the one himself, Shohei Ohtani. But as far as wild card, we can dive into that first. NL has been a very tight one. 7 teams in the mix: Phillies, Giants, Marlins, Brewers, Reds, and Cubs, all battling it out for those last 3 spots. Matt, who is your team right now? What is your early predictions with about a month left in the season of those 3 teams? That are going to be occupying the last 3 spots in the National League wildcard. And the Diamondbacks, I forgot to mention them.
I still think that the Giants are probably the scariest team to me, just because they're one of those teams that really don't have anything to lose in this situation. Where they're going to go out and spend money this offseason, but guys are fighting to keep their spots for next year. So that's the team that like the Kansas City Royals, where they're so tight knit that makes you very interested to see what happens. But I think that with how they've been playing lately, I think that they've had their ups and downs this year, but I think that they're the team to probably watch out for in that wild card race.
Yeah, they have been doing great. Like I mentioned, they have nothing to lose. They're in second place in the wild card right now with a 2.5 game lead on the Cubs, who were the first team out. Marlins occupy the third spot. Yours truly occupies the first. I think that it's a close race. I do like what you mentioned. I think the best part about the Giants too is that I think they have a tremendous bullpen. Every time I turn on the game, they got some guy breaking a record or just absolutely dominating.
And I mean, Camilla Duvall in the back of the bullpen, he's probably top. If I had to go through and pick the least favorite closer I would have to face, he would be number one for me.
He is filthy. I mean, he is.
He's scary to face.
It really is nuts. He leads the league in saves still, right?
I think so. If he's not, he's really close. But
he was like a month ago. He was leading. I think it could have changed, but he's been absolutely ridiculous this year to see. It's been really, really, really impressive, and it's been a big part of the Giants' success. They've been a part of a lot of late close games, and if you guys got a couple guys that can give you a scoreless inning or two, that's a big deal.
I do want to point out too that I would say the Reds, but I mean, I think that the Reds have a better chance of winning the division than making the wild card game. So
yeah.
I think that's the same way with the Cubs, where those teams, I think the wild card's pretty much almost not set, but you've got those three teams in the division, one of them's gonna win the division, and then it's just between. Those teams play each other so much that they're going to keep knocking each other down, which is Reds went to Milwaukee last week and lost, and that's why they're down so far now. Because when you play so much head-to-head with each other, it just kind of kills your record.
And that's something. I mean, you can wild card, you can, scoreboard watch and see what other teams do all you want, but the best time to advance is when you play these guys head to head. So it really don't matter what you do outside of that. If you're getting smacked by them when you're playing head to head. It is a tight race for sure. I do agree. That's a good point. I think the West, the NL West and the NL East is going to take it. As far as the Diamondbacks, Giants, and the Phillies, Marlins, I think they're going to make up that final three spots, and the Central's going to be up in the air. Two teams that are not on that list, though, that we mentioned that were supposed to be very high up, possibly winning their division, but have turned out to be a very big disappointment despite them cutting a lot of checks. The San Diego Padres and the New York Mets, both teams find themselves very far back in that wild card race. What team do you right now has been more of a disappointment? The Padres or the loaded offense of the Padres or the supposed all-star pitching caliber of the Mets?
Honestly, for me, a lot of it has to do with the coaching. For instance, with the Mets, is you've got a guy like Buck Showalter that's managing the Mets, and you're trying to put together a team that there's a lot of egos on that team, whether they're public egos or not. I mean, you've got Justin Verlander, MVP at one point. You've got Max Scherzer, who's the biggest psycho in baseball. Then you throw in the guys like Lindor, and Pete Alonso. They might be down to earth guys, but when you put all that all-star caliber together, sometimes it just doesn't gel. And Buck Showalter has not done a good job keeping them together at this point.
It's been a catastrophe, and it is silly. It's not silly. It's crazy how they both spend money in different aspects, and the Padres go big on offense, and the Mets go big on the pitching staff, and it just hasn't worked out for either squad this year.
No, and the Padres, it's just a tricky situation where I feel like it's almost the same way where the coaching is you can't always blame the coaches, but sometimes the manager in baseball is probably one of the most important coaches in all of sports, just because they play so many games. They're with each other so long that things don't always work the way you want to, and you can tell a good coach by who keeps them together. And the Padres just don't play as a unit either. It seems like at some points, and it's like no matter how much money you spend, the guys still have to come together and find their identity to keep going forward.
Yeah, I think that's I mean, at this point, especially in professional sports, it's almost like a lost art. Again, many people get caught up in obviously the talent that's on that level. But I mean, when you look around, every team's obviously loaded with talent. That's why they're professionals. But that coach, many people seem to overlook that. And like I said, I think you made a great point. When you got, speaking on the Met situation, whenever you got so much talent on the team, that's a real like challenge for a coach. Like to me, that challenge is like that's one of the biggest challenges you can have at a coach. Even if you look in basketball, you obviously look at all the teams that had the three All Stars. You look at you go back to the Michael Jordan Bulls back when it was him, Pippen, Rodman. Coach obviously had to manage some egos. You look at the Warriors with Steph, Clay, and Dre. Kerr had obviously managed egos. So I feel like, whenever you're dealing with a team with loaded star power, again, on paper, obviously, again, it looks great. It looks like, again, we got so many great guys, but, you don't win games on paper. So, I mean, if you don't got the guy to, galvanize the troops and, make sure everything's in sync and flowing the way it needs to be so everybody can, have a massive impact within their roles on the team, then I feel like that's how you get to situations like what the Mets did essentially at the trade deadline, by, just trading guys. So, yeah, like to just to allude to the point you made about a coach, like, coaching, many people like to think on the professional levels, coaching doesn't matter. I beg to differ. Coaching 1,000% matters. And, for many teams, coaching can be a key deciding factor on whether you make or miss the playoffs for your squad.
And
So
also getting to that point that you're talking about, like the different style coaches in sports. Like you go and look at some of these teams where you've got Brian Snitker with the Braves, who players coach. Dave Roberts with the Dodgers, players coach. Brewers, Craig Counsell, probably one of the best player coaches out there. But then you go down to someone like the Reds that are having a resurgent year this year, David Bell, players coach. And then you start going down to San Diego, Bob Melvin, old school manager. Players don't come first with old school managers. Mets, Buck Showalter, same exact way. That's why, I mean, you go back and look at the Orioles when Showalter was managing there, 2015. That was when the team was probably the best with the Orioles and not a player's coach, and things don't work out well. And that was with no egos on the Orioles team. You had Machado and Chris Davis, and that's it. I mean, like,
right.
You had two guys compared to him with the Mets, where you've got three star-studded starting pitchers. Like, I mean, like, you just keep, like, it's just hard to win as a manager and not be a player's manager. Because from a player's perspective, as a baseball player, you want the manager that's going to ride or die with you, not the one that's going to point out what you did wrong.
Yeah, and I feel like I said again, you made another great point.
Good point.
In that situation, whenever you're dealing with like you mentioned, three star-studded pitchers, you have to, by de facto, be a player's coach. Like I said again, I hark back to basketball. When you look at what LeBron, D Wade, and Chris Bosh had going on, Eric Spoelstra had the result in being a player's coach. It was stuff that he took from his guys, and he essentially let his stars, be the reason why they formed the Big Three. So I feel like in this situation, obviously, again, when you got that caliber of players on your team for the Mets, you can't. You have to follow the method that the Atlanta Braves coach has, where I'm for my players, I'm for my guys. You got stars like that on your team. Let them show exactly why they are the stars that they are. And I feel like most of the time with that stuff that happens that way, a lot of compromise from these coaches have to happen. And I can see. I don't agree with it, but I can see why being in New York, Obviously, the other New York team, maybe obviously whenever you say New York, everybody thinking about the Yankees being the other team. You try to instill a culture, you try to do things your way. But at the end of the day, so you got star guys on your team. You got very, very good pitchers on your team. Your way,
Also, no, you got it.
Oh no, I'm about to wrap up with it, but your way again just might not be the best way. Obviously, if you're not getting the production required, and what's needed or what's expected of you guys, then clearly your way isn't the best way.
Yeah, and also to point out the player's coach to show y'all the best scenario in my mind that proves this is that you've got the Atlanta Braves who's got Brian Snitker, player's coach, but then you go down to infield coach, third base coach Ron Washington. Ron Washington, players coach in Texas. I mean, he's probably one of the biggest player coaches ever coached baseball. And then you move down to the Braves bench coach, Walt Weiss, coached for the Rockies when he had Arenado and young Story, LeMahieu when they made the wild card game. Like there's a theory here that the Braves have put together with coaching that they have the great players, but the culture that those coaches have built is something that is what makes them win those close games. Like what makes them never give up. Like you go and watch the Braves and they'll be down 1 or 2. Like you don't feel like they're ever out of the game. There's not many teams like that.
You can't put it. It's near impossible to put away the Braves because if you sleep on them for one inning, they will make you pay. They've just been absolutely insane this year. They're 31 games over 500 right now.
Why do you think the players take such less money? Because they sign them young, but the culture they have built there, nobody wants to leave the culture. They only leave the culture when they're not wanted anymore. Like Kenley Jansen, he didn't want a pay cut, so the Braves said, okay, go get your money somewhere else. The Braves have set the system up to where they want the guys that'll take less money, but it's not about the money, it's about them buying into the program. And that's what every team could learn from in every sport, not just the Braves, just any sport in general, not just baseball.
Yeah.
Completely agree. I think that's a big, players coach. I like that. Very big organization. Very big difference it makes when you got players that are willing to sacrifice a little bit for themselves as far as getting that big contract to keep the goal, and it leads to championships and winning and more. In the end, more money anyways. So, very, very, very true as well. Are the Braves your early favorite to win the whole thing this year, or?
I mean, the team that really as a Braves fan, the team that really scares me the most still is probably, someone like the Rays. Like a lot of those guys have been there a couple of years now, and they're 2 games back right now. I think maybe 3 from the Orioles, but they a lot of it has to do with they're a team that's so young that they're hungry. Some of these teams are just okay where they're at, and that's what separates some of these teams from being really good and not being average.
Whoever wants it more in the end, because everybody once they get to that next level, everybody is really the same talent level. It doesn't matter who wants it more.
And a lot of it has to do with is that some of these high, even going back to the Mets or the Padres, some of these high money guys, they don't care about winning World Series. To be honest, I think they care more about going out there and getting their paycheck. The team with the lower payroll that still has good talent, they'll figure out a way to win some games, like the Rays. Even the Twins, I actually had the Twins as the division leader, and they're leading their division by at least. I think they're at least. I think the Guardians are 56 and 60, and the Twins are 60 and 57. A lot of it just has to do with the young talent they've promoted within the system, and those guys have bought into it. It's not all about the Machados of the world or the Sotos. Like, I think it has a lot to do with who wants it, like you said.
Well, it's been a big deal. It's see how high people have been paying, and it hasn't been working out. So it could be a bubble burst, and they go back to the style like the Braves or the Orioles. Or so far, it seems like the Phils have dodged it. I mean, they have a high payroll, yes, but it seems to be working out right now. It's just a little tough. But well, yeah, baseball has been ramping up. It's going to be a wild finish. Yeah, it's gonna be a wild finish, but I'm excited. I'm excited to see. Are you nervous at all for the Phillies or about the Phillies playing them head to head?
I mean, a lot of it, like, it just has to do with how those key Philly guys that helped them last year, if they will help out again this year. Because I think if those guys get
Mm-hmm.
hot again and the right guys get hot, the Phillies are definitely a team to watch out for.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at our roster right now, the production is literally coming from Bohm, and then Stott, then Marsh, and then Castellanos, and then sprinkled in from Harper. But as far as the core, Turner, Schwarber, and Remuto go, they've been below average to average, and everybody's saying Turner's starting to come around now, hopefully. But yeah, it's crazy to see, but hopefully they turn around for my sake and sanity. But yeah, switching sports. Football is coming up. Big football guy, both college and pro. Obviously, both are coming up. I think next Saturday is the first week of college football. Is that right? Not tomorrow. Not as in 2 days from now, but the
It
following
should
week.
be week 0. Yeah, because they do that. They do the week 0 now with some games. Should be some week 0 games coming up. Yep.
I'm excited. Very, very fun. Obviously, your Georgia Bulldogs looking to still dominate, losing a bunch of talent, but always very, very recruitful, getting more back. How excited are you for this upcoming season?
Can you repeat that one more time for me? Sorry.
I said your Bulldogs coming off back-to-back championships. How excited are you for this season? And are you looking for a three? Are you looking at a 3P possibility?
Yeah, I mean, I think that part of it is like that actually might help us even some more. I was looking actually yesterday that they brought Bobo back in as the offensive coordinator, who he's kind of been hopping all over the place, but like he's a great offensive mind that I think can only make this team better in the long run, especially with bringing in a new QB. Like I think Jordan Beck's probably going to be the QB, but I mean Mike Bobo, I think I'm more excited about him coming back than what's going to happen like with the offense or defense. Like I think he'll make a big impact from the coaching standpoint.
I think he's going to be. I think it really is going to be a big difference maker as far as adjusting with the young talent too, because you guys also a lot of the defense. Stetson Bennett, obviously a quarterback, and one or two star offensive players. But I think the new talent that's going to have to come in to continue to adjust and have that dominant defense is going to be a big one, but a big challenge for him. I think he's going to be able to pull it off, hopefully. Early prediction as far as SEC leaders: Alabama, Georgia. What are you thinking so far?
I'm gonna go Georgia LSU this year.
Georgia and LSU in the SEC championship game.
Get to re-go as last year,
I
and
like it.
I just think that Alabama, like I think, is getting to the point where like with how they've set a really good culture up there, but I think that like it all boils down to like with the NIL floating around, and I think not everybody's so in tune to go to the Georgia or the Alabama now because these other teams have so much NIL money. So we'll see how that plays out, but I think that Alabama's going to run into a little bit of trouble just like last year, and we'll see what happens. I mean, Georgia's going to have to go through the same adversity. Like, they don't have a hard schedule, but switching quarterbacks and bringing in a new offensive coordinator, like, I mean, I think that it's just going to – time will tell with both situations.
It'll be a long-standing race. Yeah, I think. What is your biggest fear, though, as far as like what is your kryptonite? What's your weakness if you're Georgia football?
I mean, a lot of it I think is like I think the hands of Georgia football kind of lay in Carson Beck's shoes right now as cleats, I guess you'd say, because coming in after Stetson Bennett leading them to 2 national championships, and I mean I think he's going to be a redshirt sophomore this year, but I mean last year like he came into a few games and really tore it up when he did, but that was in a blowout situation, so we'll see what happens when the time actually really matters and counts. But I mean, I'm excited. He's a guy that's going to definitely make or break this season. We've seen college football teams that are great, but without a quarterback, they don't go as far as they should.
I mean, yeah, unless you got Miami's all-star defense that one year, you're not gonna go farther than the elite QB.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we have the return of the J after some technical difficulties, any early obviously college football is your area of expertise, at least football is, and you got early looks. I know we just talked about Georgia football. What team for you is looking out to be a deadly force?
A dead. I heard you try to sneak that in there just now, bro. He said Penn State. You heard him, but I would say I'm
We'll see if
kind
he
of.
comes out with the same answer as me for the SEC championship.
Well, you probably said Georgia. I don't know. I mean, losing what they lost on defense. I don't know yet, to be honest. I'm kind of, I kind of want to see not for like any championship reasons related, but I kind of want to see what Carolina does. That South Carolina that is. Obviously Rattler had a pretty good season last season, so kind of want to see how does he respond to that. Um, Team I want to see a lot out of. I feel like Ohio State is going to be fun to watch. Obviously, replacing their quarterback. They're going to probably get some. They keep receivers and keep DBs, so that'll be fun to watch. See if Michigan can finally get over the hump this year. That'd be good to watch as well, I guess. But if I had to go early right now and say what I see as far as SEC who's coming out, just given the fact of how dominant Georgia was last season, I don't think that they can. I don't think they're going to fall all the way off of not winning the SEC. So I think without a shadow of a doubt, I'm still get a nod to Georgia.
Who do you have in the championship? SEC championship. What team from the West?
West. Let me go see who I want to who I'm looking at because I don't really West. Who's all out there? Who's all out in the West?
You got Bama,
LSU is my pick.
LSU, Texas A&M.
Oh, yeah. See what happened right when you threw me. You said the West.
Did you say Atlanta?
Like West.
No, Texas A&M.
I know you said somebody, and then LSU, and then Texas A&M.
Alabama.
I thought you said Atlanta.
Yeah.
Like, Atlanta's got a college football team now.
Mississippi.
I know they got Georgia, but
one team I could actually see really shocking us this year would be Ole Miss. I could see Ole Miss going out there and I mean, like, I just feel like that's a team that was close to dominance last year that has a chance this year to go out there and put the right pieces together and I'm not saying that they'll
I know nobody's.
but I think they'll win more games this year. But down the stretch, they lost some games last year they shouldn't have lost.
I was a
I'm
fan
gonna be honest.
of Ole Miss. Oh, go ahead, man.
No, you go ahead. You got your thing.
Oh no, I was real quick. I was a fan of Ole Miss back when they had Bo Nix at quarterback. So, and I was thinking like, yeah,
That was
they're
That was Auburn.
Auburn.
huh?
You thinking
That
about
was
Matt
Auburn.
Corral?
No. Who was the quarterback before Matt? I am thinking about Auburn. Who was the quarterback before Matt and Ole Miss?
Corral.
Anything
Corral.
about
He was sponsored by Golden Corral.
No, it was another guy they had.
John,
But
Johnny
anyway,
Manziel?
I know.
That was Texas A&M.
No, I was like, no, not at all. I know Johnny Manziel. No. But no, I always seen Ole Miss as like that team that they always had a decent roster when you look at them, but they, like the games that you would expect for them to really come through for you, I never really. I forgot. It was a season where I watched them like very heavy. It had to be when I was in high school, and I'm talking about every time. Like I was a fan. Like I was like, they got potential to really make some noise, and it was just like they just kept like Saturday after Saturday just not looking like a. Their defense was just very suspect. The offense was decent at best, but if I got to pick out of the West or out of the SEC West, I'm definitely going Bama. I think it's only going to be Alabama and LSU, and I think Bama's going to take it.
You think Bama's going to pull it off?
Yeah, I think it's going to be
Georgia.
Obviously, I would like to see Georgia Bama.
Obviously, that's not a bad pick. I'm gonna agree with you just because Alabama is always in it. So, but I'm gonna throw everybody for a curve, bias or not, whatever it is. My pick for college football, SEC, the Alabama.
Oh my gosh. Let's see
Gamecocks are going to win the East. They're going to take down Georgia.
Let's see what happens when Spencer Rattler has to play a meaningful game again like last year. Yeah, is early.
He had to play Clemson and he had to play Tennessee.
Yeah, and what happened almost
the early half of the season, they sucked.
What happened to every other game besides those two?
Here's one thing. They're going to ride that momentum. I think they're going to ride that momentum all the way through.
I would like to hear what y'all have to think, but
how did you? Where did you pull that up?
Everybody look at that shirt of his.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Do I need to rep it now?
No.
I'm not biased just because my sister's going there.
I really want to hear.
Jake, how did you pull it? Where'd you get that? Is that my profile picture on Instagram?
I got my sources, man.
Jesus. I get worried now. Gamecocks all the way, bro. I mean, I looked like a douchebag frat boy in this shirt, but that's okay. Gamecocks all the way. So,
Jay, I'd like to hear what you have to say, but I want to hear your biggest like the best like season compared to last year. So a better season than last year in college football. What team are you going with? There's a few good options out there, but who do you think has the big
better season from who? Like from Georgia or just better college football season?
Any college football team? Who do you think has the biggest change in what happens? Good or bad, actually.
You check the basis. So, like, what's the biggest change from last year to this year for a team?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
good or bad. Actually, do good and bad.
Good. For the good. I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but I genuinely feel like Michigan's going to have themselves a good year this year. I have no idea why I feel like that. I feel like they just got outplayed in every facet in that Ohio State game last year. So Yeah, I think Michigan for the bad. feel like I feel like I want to say I really want to say LSU. What it is about I just don't think I think LSU has like captured their like little ball of lightning, throughout like the obviously the Joe Burrow's final season. Um, I think they're essentially going to go fall like kind of fall off the grid. I don't think they're going to be that. I don't think they're going to be. I don't think they're going to be as good as many people expect them to be. I think a lot of people unfairly are expecting them to be good because just LSU sports for some odd reason this past season it's been just lights out. So I got LSU falling off. I don't think LSU is going to be all that good this year.
All right, go on, Mark. Let's hear your two.
LSU has had luck, I'll tell you that. LSU has been doing good all over the place. I think you don't think they're gonna live up to the hype?
No, not at all. I think the hype's gonna overturn them. I think whenever it's like the more that you hype up a team or hype up obviously a organization, a college or whatever, it's like the higher they go, the worse the fall is. So I don't think they're gonna just add to the cake. I think they're just gonna fall over and have to rebuild the whole cake. I don't think they're gonna be that good this year.
Didn't they do that though when they fired Coach O? That was the falling of the cake of the national championship.
I think what it was. I mean, coming off a national championship, many people don't really repeat. So I mean, I don't too much really think. I mean, that obviously could be, but I didn't see them going back anyway. But I think like this year, they're really going to be like, yeah, they're just not all. They're just really not all that good.
Go ahead. Who are your good and bad?
My good is going to be South Carolina because I think they're gonna have a better year. They're gonna ride that hype because okay, that's fine by me.
Go figure. No, I'm saying because I knew you was going to say South Carolina. You had the shirt on.
Yeah,
They were like 1-40 last year, and of course you're going to say South Carolina.
Yeah, they definitely had a terrible first half of that year, so they're gonna. I think they're gonna. I thought that every time I watch the game, I'd be like, "Oh my god, here we go again." But I think they're going to turn it around. A team that's going to have a letdown. I like that question. Give me. That's tough. Give me as high as expectations it is for Ohio State. I think they're going to have a letdown. I see them possibly losing 3 or 4 games, which doesn't sound like a bad season, but for Ohio State, that's pretty below par, especially over the last couple of years. I say Ohio State as a letdown season. Not saying they play bad all year, but is it bad season or letdown? What do you?
I mean, I think that a bad season for them, like you said, is a 3-loss season because they're not making the football playoff with 3
No, you
losses.
can't. Yeah, you can't make the football playoffs that way.
So I got a couple teams I'm gonna throw at y'all. I want to hear what y'all think that you did not bring up. So we'll go with the Oregon Ducks with Bo Nix's second year.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's crazy? As soon as Glenn said something about Ohio State, I don't know why I went straight to Bo Nix because he played
You got Bo Nix playing like 25 teams this year. He's going to have busy. He's going to have a busy college football season. He's going to be playing down at Ole Miss, and then he's going to have to fly up to Ohio State and then back up to Oregon. He's going to be.
I mean,
he's going to be gas at the end of the year.
He might go take Dak Prescott's spot, but no, like really, what happened was that's what it was. I was thinking about that wild playoff game that they had. Well, not the playoff game, the bowl game they had last year. And I think that's why I was just thinking about Oregon. But yeah, stretch whoever I have for good. I think Oregon's going to be the team that steps up because of both. Second year, obviously, with the second year, I remember when he had like a lot of buzz around his name, like okay, because they originally wanted him to come out last year. Obviously, he elected to stay. So I genuinely do believe the Oregon Ducks are going to have a good season. But on to your question. and say again, I mean, I feel like Bo's gonna have like that NFL ready season. Like I feel like last season just coming on first year, but I feel like this year he's gonna put a lot of great film on tape. One thing that did progress for him, after didn't last year they lost to Georgia, correct? Georgia beat the snot out of them week 1 or
First
something.
game.
Yeah,
Chick-fil-A.
beat the living dog out of them. But I feel like one thing
Embarrassing, boys.
that definitely progressed for him last year was like you could just tell after that loss he just progressively week by week was like he was just getting way more comfortable in the system. So I feel like that's going to carry over into this season, and I really do think that Oregon, headed by Bo Nix, of course, is going to have a great season this year.
All right,
Very fair.
on to the next one. Neither of y'all brought up Coach Prime at Colorado. But what are we thinking about that situation?
They'll be a middle of the pack team. I'm not. I'm a thousand. I'm not gonna place a lot of stock on Colorado simply because I mean it's first and foremost it's Colorado. That's simple as that. But I mean, it's another thing. It's like it's a lot of hype around it, you know. And again, that's good. That's getting their college exposure. I mean, we've seen their spring game. Spring game was packed. You know, you couldn't fit a fly in there. How crazy it was packed. But I mean, at the end of the day, you know, from on the field, I'm not really. I don't think that they're going to be. I don't think they're going to be bad, but I don't think they're going to be like. I don't think they're going to be what everybody's expecting them to be, which is like some top 5, top 15, top 10 team in the you know in the country. I don't think that's coming.
We got two more left. Glenn, you wanna
I
catch
do see them. Real quick, I do see them cracking the top 25, but definitely not the rest. Do I want to catch what?
I say you want to catch the next team. This is.
I got you. Hit me.
All right, so I think this team had a very underrated, like off season. Like you haven't heard much hype, but I want to hear what you have to think about Lincoln Riley and Caleb Williams out at USC.
I think they're gonna do the exact same, and not gonna make the college football playoffs. And I think they're literally gonna have like another good bowl year, another good year, but fall short where it matters. They might win a bowl game, but I don't think they're gonna. I'm not buying into the USC hype, and I think that it's gonna. I think it's gonna stay the same. Although that was a good pick. I was leaning towards them. I can't believe I didn't pick them.
I just wanted to hear what you had to think because like you're all hyped up about one USC, and then you're not hyped up about the other one.
Right.
I'm all hype. I'm all in
for
on
that
this.
USC.
I'm all
this
in.
for other.
And it turns out I'm all in on this one. I'm all out on the other.
So one thing that I wanted to put as my worst team falling off, I definitely put the Utah Utes with Cam Rising tearing his ACL. I mean, like, great team last year, so close, but I mean, with him tearing his ACL, I think it kind of puts them in the dumps where they've been in contention for 2 years now. That they sneak into contention, but they're in contention. But I think that they have the biggest drop off. And then my biggest uptick, I'm going to take Colorado because I think they're going to go out there and beat TCU first week.
You know, I was just about to ask you what you feel about TCU this year.
I think Colorado goes out there and beats them first week.
Dugan.
Nice.
I don't know. That's gonna be a fun one to watch. What's that's gonna be a prime time game.
Travis Hunter picks him off.
Picks them off. Wow. Pick 6 or just a pick?
Just a pick, but I have Travis Hunter pick first game in Colorado.
All right. Fair. All right. Well, that's respectable. Yeah. Speak of football all around. What do you, like we mentioned, Jay was about to ask TCU though? What is your feeling?
He don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, it's you, man.
I know. I'm just saying, like, I don't know what to say at this point. Like, I think Colorado beats them first week, and I think that kind of throws their season in the toilet. Like, I think that's what happens. If they lose to Colorado first week, no chance they come back and make the college football playoff. Zero chance.
It would be tough, especially in that they needed every single game, almost every single game last year. So,
And
that's a
also,
real
I
part.
think I will go as far in saying they don't. What they play in the Big 12? They don't.
Who
They,
cares?
what are they playing? The Big 12?
Big 12,
Pac-
Bubblegum
Pac-12.
12,
They
something
play in
12.
the Big 12. They're not even going to win the Big 12. I'll go that far. Oklahoma wins the
So,
Big 12.
you talk about somebody you're all out on. It's TCU this year.
Brett Venables.
Even though you have a TCU hat on?
This is not.
It's
This is.
not TCU.
I'm
That's pretty
repping.
clean.
I'm repping the worst MLB team to show you how bad TCU's gonna be.
Man, listen. Yeah, TCU. I feel like that they should be dropping right, like as we speak, right now in the polls. Because of the championship game. The fact that they took time off of my life watching that game. I could have been doing something else. I could have been walking my fly. I could have been doing something. The fact that I had to watch that, yeah, no, I don't really think. If Matthew's right,
What's with you? What's with you and
week,
flies? What's with you and flies tonight? You got a lot of analogies with flies. You're walking your fly. You couldn't fit a
that's how
fly in
crazy
the
it is.
room. You got a fly in your mind.
Yeah, I might be flying. I don't know. Who knows? But listen, if Matthew's right, if they lose week 1, they might as well just cancel the football season this year. Just don't even have football season. Nobody cares. You got us last year. We all thought you were gonna be, going different style. Okay, we got out. Not a traditional team in the championship. TCU. Okay, cool. Then you go in and it was just absolutely a bloodbath off the rip. So yeah, no. If they lose week 1, yeah, I'm with you. There isn't a way there is no way possible you can make the college football playoffs. I don't care what happens. Like you can't. You just won't be possible.
I also do want to point out too that like I really think that Oklahoma has a good schedule to go out and make some noise this year, where they've got TCU last game. Just keep that in mind right there. But you go out and they play a Cincinnati team, they play Texas, they play UCF, they play Oklahoma State, and they play West Virginia.
Jesus, we didn't even talk about Texas.
I think Texas, that was one that I was going to get to that we didn't get to, but I don't know. Texas is one you either buy high or buy low. There's no in between. Because
I'm not buying it all.
Skylar Ewing, there's a chance he goes out there and loses his job with Arch Manning.
Not buying in Arch Manning.
No, he's not starting. Skylar Ewing has got to start.
He's gonna be starting eventually, though.
Well, if Arch Manning starts a game this year, they are going to be in some deep trouble because it's going to be like DJ Ukulele, where he was at Clemson, and
that's one thing I'm glad we can say we started the DJ Ukulele train. I'm glad we say we can start that one.
And then
we didn't even talk about Clemson. That's crazy.
But I just think that I don't see Texas. If Arch Manning starts a game, Texas is out of the season. It's going to be the DJ Ukulele again. It was Clemson. The same thing.
Well,
by the time Arch Manning takes over, it's going to be too late.
Yeah, you're way nicer than me. I think the moment Texas walk on the field, it's over with. Like that's their season. The season's in flames. The reason why I say that is
Yeah.
because I just like that game. Who did they play last year and they just got demolished? I don't know why I'm thinking Georgia. It wasn't Georgia. Couldn't be Georgia. It was someone else. But essentially,
They got
that little quarterback
demolished.
was just they got demolished. Matter of fact, you guys talk.
They had a nail biter with Alabama.
Also, Texas plays Alabama week 2.
That's a loss. Just chalk it up as a loss.
And then, so they have.
Already. So Jay is all out in Texas. Everybody's all out on somebody. I'm all out in USC. You're all out on TCU, and Jay's all out on Texas.
I'm all
not
out on
confident.
almost everybody. I'm all out on almost everybody.
I'm
Who are you in
all
on
out. I'm all out on every team from Texas.
If you play football, both pro and college.
Exactly. You like how I said just in Texas? That added the Cowboys and the Texans.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of pro and them cowgirls, as we say, them stinking Cowboys, as Jay would say. We
Thinking
are
Cowboys.
coming up on the pro season. We got fantasy football starting. We got pro football starting, preseason. The works. Obviously, it's a whole bunch of stuff to cover. Tonight, we're going to go over 2 divisions, and that is going to be.
Oh, I got you right. Pause. Here we're gonna do right. This is the divisions. Listen. This is on the spot. So if I catch one of these guys by surprise, I apologize. This is what we talked about today was a great segue into I would say the NFC and AFC East. We talked about coaching, team friend, player friendly coaches, people who make money and then they just think it's all about the money and that's it. This is a great moment in time to talk about the NFC East and those stinking Cowgirls. Let's get this out of the way.
Definitely threw me for a curve.
Yeah, we had it set that we was going to talk about, north, east, south, west, whatever. Who cares? We're going to talk about the East because what's been going on with these stinking. Well, okay, cool. What's been going on with the NFC East? I mean, it's all up in flames. You got this guy. You got the Giants out here, paying their quarterback, like $40 million. Like he wasn't kind of not good at all. Well, he wasn't. I'm not gonna say not good at all last year, but he definitely wasn't all that good last year. You got the team down in Washington don't even know what name they want to be called. You got the Eagles coming off of obviously winning great games, of course. Went to the Super Bowl last year, very good season. I was hating. I was waiting on their downfall. They did not fall. Shout out to Glenn. And then we got the
Fell a little
Cowgirls.
bit, but
I mean, if you fall, if your definition of falling a little bit is in the Super Bowl, then hey, you got. I mean, and then we got the Cowgirls who just every time I obviously it's practice. Every time I cut on the practice, I'm looking at Dak throw the ball to Trayvon Diggs. Can somebody tell Dak Trayvon Diggs on the opposite side of the field? He's not on offense. He is on defense. I'm sick and tired of seeing Trayvon Diggs bully that man to making him think that that the receiver's open and he's not. Also, what makes it even worse is that Zach Martin is still holding out. Zach Martin is one of the best offensive linemen in the league. He's holding out. And this is what I feel like, alluding to our conversation earlier, Matthew, about players getting paid. Whenever you sit here and teams pay their quarterback, I think what a lot of guys try to find out nowadays in the league is how much they can get paid. So essentially they want to be the highest paid, but the highest paid does not equate to winning. You look at Tom Brady. What made Tom Brady so special? Tom Brady allowed Bill Belichick to invest heavy on his defense, to give him some weapons to throw to. You look at what Patrick Mahomes did. Yeah, on the surface, Patrick Mahomes' deal looked huge, but he keep restructuring his deal to, obviously make sure Travis is paid, make sure his O-line's getting money, make sure defense is getting some money. You look at what Aaron Rodgers did. Aaron Rodgers essentially gave the Packers the middle finger because he cut off $35 million of his own money, $35 million of his own deal, so that the Jets can have space to make some moves, obviously this season if they want to, but more so next season. And then you get to the Cowgirls, who tied up all their money into Zeke originally, who then tied up all the money into Dak. And when you do stuff like that, now you have people on the team looking for some money, which now we got this Zach Martin situation. So you pay your quarterback a lot of money. He doesn't pan out to be worth a what in the big moments. He'll put up good numbers. Dak always gonna put up good numbers. Because, at the end of the day, when you're losing fourth quarter by like 3 touchdowns and you're just still out there throwing for like 150 yards, and it's going to look good. But, yeah. So I had to give that dialogue real quick because – and that was sparked because I had a customer earlier today. He's a diehard Cowboys fan. And he stood me up for like 45 minutes talking straight Cowboys. Like, my Cowboys, we paid Dak so much. I'm like, yeah, y'all did. But anyways, back to the topic. So – NFC East, fellas. We got, obviously, the Cowboys. We got the Eagles. We got the Giants. And we got Washington, whatever they are. I'm going to start with you, Matthew. Who do you got winning that division?
Man, I thought this would be a pretty easy guess after, like half of my college teams on one of these teams.
Right.
But shout out my boy Keely Ringo. Now on the Eagles, but yeah, I like the Eagles in this division. I think with how heavily they've invested into some of the top defensive guys, I see them going back pretty deep in the playoffs at the bare minimum.
I'm be honest about how the Eagles drafted. You can tell the Eagles were straight up all about business. They drafted literally your whole defense. Like they literally went out and got they got every bulldog they could.
Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, Keely Ringo, like
they got every bulldog they could. I'm like, that's how you know, like. They're all about winning. They don't care about none of that stuff. Scout for what? This team right here in college has the best defense.
Also, keep in mind they picked Jalen Carter after all the rec stuff. That's the only reason he fell to 9 in the first place. But they don't care. They don't care about that. They care about winning, and that's why I like the Eagles. They're not into all of the like bull crap and all this. They just want to win. And that's very respectable.
It is, honestly, true. Again, you got a professional team. First, again, they're professionals. So all the minuscule stuff, keep that to yourselves. We're all about winning. We're going to win some more. And after we win that game, we're going to win again. And that's what they're about. They're about putting butts in the stands and putting a product on the football field. The best 11 on both sides of the ball. All three sides, including special teams. But they're all about putting the best 11 on the field who can produce, who can get to their common end goal, which is to win. They want to do better than last year, and only one way to do better. It's only one thing you can do better than what you did last year, and that's winning that Super Bowl. So that's what they're trying to get back to. So what they did, they went out and retooled themselves the best way they possibly could. I was like you mentioned, drafting the guys they drafted. Went out and got a Taylor Swift at running back. All you're doing, not Taylor. I didn't mean to say Taylor Swift. Don't follow me up. Swift out of Detroit at running back.
I was trying so hard not to say anything until it was my turn. Did you just say Taylor Swift?
Yep.
This is monumental. Taylor Swift. When you were trying to say DeAndre Swift.
Hey, listen, I gotta get your attention somehow. All right, I gotta get your attention somehow. You're just
you had to get him out of Eagle Land.
You messed. I'm now frustrated because you messed up my dialogue because you said Taylor Swift. I know she's from Philly and she's an Eagles girl, but
she can't come out the backfield for you guys, golly.
Well, the way she was pre-gaming her show like this, like all that thing, that was all over NFL. That was all over NFL memes. So I thought she might be able to come back in, but let me revamp. I was ready to rock and roll, but no.
Now watch, you got all this Eagles stuff on. Watch you say the Cowgirls. Watch. It's your turn. You can go.
Is it my turn now?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, sorry. I thought we were still going on about the latest in pop culture, but yeah, I'm not really too sure who I'm going with, but I'm pretty sure I'm leaning towards the Eagles. I think I'm not really sure, but we have the best quarterback in the division. We now have an elite running back again. Howie going out doing his thing. Got DeAndre Swift for a bag of chips. Our defense is very frustrated and not frustrated. It's very angry after what happened last year, and we went out and, like I mentioned, got the best defense in college football for the last 2 years. We have arguably the best wide receiver duo in the league in AJ Brown and newly upcoming Devontae Smith. Like I said, I'm not sure who I'm picking yet. I'm just a little. I'm not exactly sure. It's still early. Those Cowboys could always be a threat. And Danny Dimes, or whenever he plays the Eagles, he turns into Danny Pennies. Should I say Danny Pennies when he plays the Eagles? And
You can call him
Saquon
Daniel.
coming back. When he's playing the rest of the league, he's Danny Dimes. But when he plays the Eagles, I'm gonna call him Danny Pennies.
I'm a screenshot this and send it to you whenever the Washington
Whatever.
Washington whatevers.
Redskins.
Redskins. The Washington Redskins. Yeah, they're a big issue with what's his name's with Jay Sean's brother. Oh, wait, no, they got rid of him too. Carson Wentz still on that team. I don't even know what. I don't even know what they got going on at this point.
Have you seen Carson Wentz?
He been gone.
Picture he posted.
No, which one?
Oh my God!
They got.
I mean, I was joking. I knew he got released. I know he.
No.
Do you know what the depth chart is for the Commanders? Though I'll give y'all a quiz right now. Who do you think their top two are? You actually should know. You actually should know all three. They're pretty decently known names.
Their top three. Well, definitely
no, not Heineke.
Definitely the receiver. Terry McLaurin is number one, of course. Chase Young.
Quarterback.
Oh, quarterback. I thought you were talking about best three players on the squad.
No, I'm saying the three quarterbacks on their roster. Who do you think?
I want to say one of them is the dude that used to play Nate Sudfeld. I don't know why, but I want to say Nate Sudfeld's one of them.
One of them?
No?
One of them?
Sam Howell.
One of them? Sam Howell's on there. He's the third. The number two is a Georgia Bulldog.
Georgia Bulldog. See, this is how irrelevant Washington has been for the last 3 years. I don't even know any of their quarterbacks whatsoever. A former Bulldog. It's not Matthew Stafford. Stetson Bennett went to the Rams.
He was before Stetson Bennett.
Oh, Jake Fromm
Jake Fromm.
Yeah, that's
Jake
who
Fromm. State Farm.
Number one was a quarterback. I mostly relate him to the Colts and the Patriots.
Is that him in an Eagles helmet and a red shirt? What is it?
It's the Eagles helmet,
and a
Colts shorts, and a Redskins jersey.
That's not Photoshop. That's actually him. He says, back in the lab, just looks a little different so far this year.
He got released, correct?
Yeah, I don't think he's no longer a part of the Washington.
And the Washington. Matt, you said he was relevant with the Colts and the Patriots?
Colts and the Patriots are where I would equate him to in my head.
I know him. Don't even say it. Oh man, black guy. What's his name?
And the Ravens, actually.
And the Reds?
Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, the Ravens. Yep, Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, I figured. Once you say Colts Patriots, obviously when you say any quarterback for the Patriots, you think of Tom Brady. Then you might think of
Tom Brady.
Jimmy G. Yeah, so that's why when you said that, I'm like, okay. Then you said Colts. Like, oh yeah, got to be Jacoby Brissett.
And didn't he play for the Ravens for a little while too?
That was I know RG3 did.
I know that. What was his name? what was the guy that played last year?
Tyler Huntley.
Yeah, Huntley, and then I think Brissett was in there, sprinkled in there at some point.
Probably. He's been everywhere. He's a journeyman, so he probably was.
But yeah, that shows you just how interesting the Redskins are.
So they're done, and yet they're meaningless. You got Danny Pennies, and you got regular season Dak and postseason. You got the Jekyll and Hyde in Dallas, known as Dak Prescott. So yeah, the Eagles are gonna take that division with ease, and it's gonna be the first repeat champion in like 20 years in that division. But Eagles dub all the way.
I did also see today that the Redskins were talking about trading Chase Young.
Probably for his own sanity.
I mean, they need to actually give themselves a quarterback. That's for
what you don't like Jake Fromm in your backup slot that couldn't win in college football?
Jake Fromm, State Farm.
I think I probably heard Jake Fromm's name probably twice while he was in college football.
He's
probably Jake Fromm.
He grew up 40 minutes from where I'm at right now in Georgia.
I will. Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking. I still can't believe they got rid of my guy, Heineke. The kid's nothing. Yeah, the kid's nothing but a playmaker. How the hell you get rid of him? Who knows? But yeah, I guess I'll give my pick who I think is going to win it.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, you know what? I actually won't because I don't even have one. I think everybody.
No, you can't exceed this. Who is your freaking pick?
My pick.
Come on.
Can I pick the what are their names again? The Redskins.
The Redskins. If they win one divisional game, I'll be amazed.
I actually think that Cole Beasley might tear your defense up this year. Old Cole Beasley on the Giants now.
Old Beasley. The Giants might be one of. I don't know what it is about New York. It's just like.
Did you just say that?
Yeah.
Cole Beasley.
Y'all don't got no DBs anyway.
I'm gonna be getting a text from Keely Ringo saying, "Oh, you think that Cole Beasley gonna tear me up?"
Time out. We have no DBs. Is Darius Slay just? What's Darius Slay?
He's a guy that's going to make a play every here and there. But I'm talking about consistent. I'm talking about lockdown. Slay's a technician. He's pretty surgical at what he does, but I'm not too concerned. But
Eagles in 4.
Yeah, well, it might be. Honestly, we might got to go drug test everybody in New York because, what are the Giants doing? What are the Giants doing? Honestly, what are they doing? What are the Giants doing, huh?
Danny Dimes turned to Danny Dollars with that contract.
Hold on, wait.
But Saquon
let me check and see.
Ain't there.
Because no. Because if I'm not mistaken, I don't think Daniel Jones threw more touchdowns in games he played last year. And somehow somehow he convinced him to give him that much money.
He threw more touchdowns than games played. There's no way he would have got that contract. He had a good year last year.
Listen, Daniel Jones in 2022, he threw 15 touchdowns. He definitely played more than 15 games. I don't even have to go look it up. He played more than 15 games. So you're telling me
there's no way.
Daniel Jones.
How?
15 touchdowns.
How was he so hyped up last year? There's no way he played 15 games.
Well, listen, I will give him a touch of slack. A touch. Only a touch. They went out and got Galladay. Yeah, exactly. They went out and got Galladay from Detroit. Turned into an absolute bum. He couldn't create separation from a parked car. He was horrible. So, that was that. But outside of that, obviously Sterling Shepard gets hurt like every play. can't rely on it. I mean, it's but so much Saquon can do.
Couldn't get separation from a parked car. That's a good
That's
one.
how bad it was. But
The
no,
Giants'
again,
offense was a bucket.
somehow, some way, he got $40 million. So it's still like the
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
right? No, not at all. You guys or whatever. But it's like I remember this time last year, everybody was joking about that division. It was the NFC least, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this division is now supposed to be a good division. But you know what, Glenn? Before I go any further, I'm gonna ask you something, right? I'm gonna ask you something. So you said that Jalen Hurts is the best quarterback in your division, right?
By landslide.
So what does that make him in the NFC?
Number one.
So you're going to go ahead and take him there. You're going to go ahead and put him number one in the NFC.
Pull up the NFC quarterback list. We'll go ahead.
Yeah, I got you.
Hey,
I got you
so
right
if you're gonna
now
make
that Aaron Rodgers is gone,
can you please let me make a hot take if you're making a hot take?
Yes, sir. I want to hear your hot take before I was rattled off.
This is hot takes central.
Yeah, but this isn't about a QB. This is about a team.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I say that the Nationals get knocked out of the MLB season October 1st before the Redskins win a game.
Oh, you got the Nationals getting out before the Redskins win.
Yeah.
Let me go look at the Redskins. Let's go look at this.
I can read it. I can read it off to you right now.
He's got the
schedule.
schedule.
Go ahead, pull it up.
You look up the quarterback.
You've got Arizona first week. The Redskins ain't winning that game. It's at home, but they're not winning that game. Then they go to Denver, week 2. Not winning that game. Week 3, they go to the Buffalo Bills come to them. Not winning that game. Week 4, October 1st. The last game of the MLB season is October 1st, which is week 4. So Sunday, October 1st. They play one and truly Philadelphia Eagles. And then they go to Chicago. I don't know if they beat Chicago. At least Chicago has a quarterback.
Chicago's gonna be good next year.
That's it. That's all they got, the quarterback at the moment.
And then their first win might come against Desmond Ritter in Atlanta.
Yeah, that would probably be their first possible one.
No.
Although they might. Arizona might. That's a toss up. But
that's
if they
what I
lose
was going to
Arizona,
say. Right?
They're done.
I think personally they can beat Arizona. However, I will say this: hopefully, by the time they play Atlanta came to their senses and said, "We can't start a guy named Desmond Ritter. That's just not. We just can't do that." So we got Tyler Heineke.
Not a quarterback.
Yeah, the Super Bowl champions quarterback by Desmond Ritter. We're never going to hear that. So you don't even try it. Might as well go try it somewhere
Your
else.
taxes have been filed by Desmond Ritter, maybe.
Yeah, he sounded like a guy on a Geico commercial or something, like Progressive. But so that is a hell of a take. I will say this though, I genuinely think the only way that I would. Because right now I'm 14% on that take happening. The only way I will go from 14 to 90%. If Arizona can take care of
that's an exact decimal, 14%, not 15.
Yeah, 14. I had to make it sound good. I will literally go to 90% on the dot. If Arizona can take care of business week 1 and beat them, then I feel like everybody else can follow suit and beat them as well.
All right, fair. I think it's a very fair take. Sorry, I'm having a little.
Kyler Murray, Tua Tagovailoa, Tua turn the ball over. They like the same size.
No, don't you dare bring that up now. We're saving that. We're saving that in a minute after we do the.
Glenn, who you got?
This
is quick, right? Who you got? Who you got out of Tua and Kyler?
and then you're going to justify it with a response.
Hey,
An absolute
I will show you
one of the
that.
best one of the best winning percentages in the NFL. A gamer. Which one are you going with?
I'm taking Tua.
Anybody with a brain is taking Tua over
Yeah, but
Kyler Murray.
The problem is, Glenn, is that you seem to like short teams because that's half of the Philadelphia Phillies.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that is
So
true. It's a smaller
so that's
guy.
listen,
And
that's
Jalen Hurts
fine.
isn't the tallest of QBs, but
He like yay size. But yeah, he just squatted 400 pounds like a maniac. But all right, okay, cool. So you
600.
got Jalen Hurts number 1. So let's go. So we got. I'm not even gonna name the Buccaneers quarterback because it's probably gonna be Baker or that other guy. We don't know. Who knows? The Saints. They got Derek Carr. Is he better than Derek Carr?
Derek Carr throwing to a 40-year-old Jimmy Graham is better.
First one is Jerry Carr. Hang on. Matt keeps twirling his headphone. It's playing right in my ear. Derek Carr. No, not all. Jalen Hurts all day.
All right.
Are you kidding me?
Is he better than Bryce Young?
Nope. Wait, no, is he better than Bryce? Yeah, absolutely.
I'm about to say that's crazy.
He is better than Bryce Young. He is better than Bryce Young. I was the way you first.
He's not better than Tyler Heineke, but I'll let you slide on that one. Third Cousins.
Third Cousins, yeah, he's better than Third Cousins because Jalen Hurts performed outside of 1 o'clock on Sunday.
Yeah. Mr. Love down in Packerland.
I genuinely was about to say who, but then you said Packerland. So, yeah, he's better than Jordan Love.
Yeah. Okay.
See, the NFC now. Keep going.
What about obviously he's better than Jared Goff. He's better than
He's better than Jared Goff, but Jared Goff needs to get more love after the season. If you ask me, but
I would be very honest. Jared Goff is not as bad as he looks.
He puts the same numbers as Josh Allen.
Hey, will you please keep going because you're getting to the quarterback that is better than Glenn's guy.
Okay. So how we feeling about the kid from Chicago, the Bears quarterback?
Justin Fields.
No.
When I see that, all I see is just Justin Fields looks in a mirror and he looks on TV. He wants to be Jalen Hurts. He wants to be Jalen Hurts. Like they're both similar in the running. They're both built the same. They're both similar in the running, but the passing game of Jalen Hurts is far superior.
Okay. What about Geno Smith?
If he has 2 good years, we'll reevaluate. Until then, give me Jalen Hurts.
What about Mr. Brock Purdy?
One good year.
Brock Purdy? You're running into a problem right here.
Love Brock Purdy, but he ain't there yet.
What about Mr. Stafford?
Mr. Stafford? Yeah, he's better than Mr. Stafford.
All right. What about Short King Kyler Murray?
Yeah, Jalen Hurts is better.
Okay. I think that's it because now we go back into the NFC East quarterbacks, and you already got him better than Dak. You already got him better than
Give me a quarterback in the NFC. He's not the best quarterback in the NFL. He's number 3. It's Mahomes, Burrow, and then Hurts, and then Josh Allen 4 is my list. But he's not better. There is nobody in the NFC. The NFC has a combination of terrible quarterbacks, and just Jalen Hurts is better than them all. There's nobody in the NFC. Now, when Aaron Rodgers did it, was a debate. Because back-to-back MVPs, he's Aaron Rodgers. It was a debate then. A little one. But right now?
Debate? No, it was never a debate.
Ain't no
never
debate.
debate. It's A-Rod,
no debate?
all right? No, it's not even close.
So is A-Rod better than Jalen Hurts right now? On your top quarterback list, do you have Aaron Rodgers above Jalen Hurts?
Would I have Aaron Rodgers ahead of Jalen Hurts?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because I would not disrespect Aaron Rodgers. I don't care what you
disrespect.
say.
It's right now. It's quarterbacks.
Jalen Hurts he had a hell of a season. We've seen guys have hell of a season. That don't make you Aaron Rodgers. All right,
Ain't that
that doesn't make
exactly?
you
Ain't
wrong.
that exactly what you're talking about with your quarterback? Is exactly how you just described Geno Smith. The
Geno
exact
Smith, but
same way.
the only difference is Geno Smith has years and years of playing like the Geno Smith you remember and being injured. Jalen Hurts this is his second year. It was his
Geno
second
Smith
year last
played
year.
with the Jets, so you would have
So
looked bad. Anybody would have looked bad with the Jets.
I
fair,
also think that
fair.
you have
Good
to
point.
reevaluate that you don't have the sample size to argue either. Because there's guys in this league that have better sample sizes to take right this second.
So who in the NFC then is that person that is better than Jalen Hurts right now?
I'm not arguing that, but I don't think you
No.
could sit there and say that he's number 3 in the league.
I think his dual threat
Listen,
ability and what he did the second half of his rookie year, coming in for Wentz and playing the way he did, and then coming back the next year and putting on that performance, I'd give it to Hurts at number 3.
I have no
Yep.
problem with you putting your guy at 3. You got to listen. Off the season he had alone last year, with a cherry on top of you being a fan of obviously the Eagles, no problem. I have no issue with that. It's wrong, but I have no issue with it. Like I say again, right now you're falling into the hype of what he did, and again, as you should. You got a lot of stuff to look forward to. You guys had a hell of a draft. You guys lost offensive and defensive coordinators, but outside of that, hey, you guys are still intact. You got your core intact. You still got, you went out and got a great running back. So you're good. So I get it.
Taylor
But
Swift.
yeah, Taylor Swift's your running back. She might drop an R&B song in the backfield. But yeah, it is what it is. But no, yeah, I don't. I definitely. Matter of fact, that's what we're gonna do, Matthew. We're gonna do this, and you're exclusively invited already. You already know. We're gonna do our top 5 players in these positions: quarterback, running back, receivers, all that good stuff. Those 3 main positions. So we can go ahead and get this list compiled, so we can actually put some base behind these arguments. Because we already know what he just mentioned. He got his top 3 guys, top 4 actually. Don't tell us the 5th one, because you'll give us the list away, Glenn. But he already told us the top 4 guys. So now it's all about who fills
It
out
might
that 5th
change.
spot. But yeah, no, I do believe that if Jalen Hurts can string together another good season, then I would consider having him, crack
But
maybe my top 5.
the hot
I was about to
take
say he can't be in your top 5.
My top 5?
Your hot take. Yeah, if you had Aaron Rodgers above him right now, then he can't be in your top 5 because I know you would have Josh Allen above him, and your guy Herbo
You already know exactly. You
probably is
already know I
above
got
him.
Herbo above him. I don't care about none of that.
Yeah,
I got
so
Herbo
the
above
fact
him
that you don't have him even top 5 is just insane. But hey, if he doesn't
because
have enough sample size, I get it. That's fair.
I'm not
He
a
doesn't have
fan
enough.
of
He doesn't.
just the season. That's why
He doesn't
I
have
don't
enough.
believe
I give you that. I
yeah,
give
I
you
don't
that.
believe
He
football
doesn't
is
have enough
played
sample
in
size.
one season.
It's,
again, he
it's
has
fair.
them, but
Very
and
fair.
also if you really want to look, this is an argument for another day. And I would say this, I'll let you rebuttal any way you like, but I won't say a thing.
Mm-hmm.
When you playing with damn near a super team, my Jesus, somebody got to look good. So that's all I got to say about it. Which is crazy because even in my fault, again last year around this time, I was joking on the Eagles. I'm like, the Eagles, what? We got a bald eagle. That's all we got in the world. But the Eagles, that's a team. No, it shouldn't be. And now look at where they are. So I got, I'm the donkey of the day for that one because, like I said, now you guys look good coming off a Super Bowl appearance. But yeah, no, I don't know what kind of money y'all got in Philly. Y'all must be
We got
getting Meek
Howie.
Mill money. Y'all must be got Kevin Hart's money, AI's money. Y'all must be getting money from the Sixers. Like you guys got a pretty good. You guys got guys at each position.
Yeah.
And you guys' defensive front is going to be nasty.
Jay, answer this for me though. I think that if Brock Purdy goes out there this year and has a good season, he goes above Glenn's boy.
Glenn. Yo, listen, Glenn. Now, I would love to answer this, but
You're
Brock
gonna
Purdy
make
got
me
injured
argue against
again.
Brock Purdy because you know I like the guy. He's good.
Hey, Brock. What Brock? Really, technically, Brock never lost. So you think about it, he got injured that game.
Well, Okay, if we're talking Brock Purdy having to have a good year, all right, and then
I think your boy
then
has to
how?
have a good year for
Well, I'm
argument's
saying,
sake.
say they both have good years. Say they both have good years. Isn't that the same sample size Jalen Hurts is at right now? Came in for half of a season, or like 6-7 games of a season, Brock Purdy, and then the full season. Isn't that the exact same sample size we're talking about right now of
The
Jalen Hurts?
problem is that Jalen Hurts, you argued earlier, has arguably the best duo wide receivers in the league. You argued
Yeah,
it yourself.
But see, hold
yeah,
on, wait, no, because see,
but
Jalen Hurts was
I
in the
said
year. What? This is his third year, fourth. This is Jalen Hurts' third year, I believe.
no, second.
No, he played. He was you guys the quarterback the year that
Wentz went down.
when the Rams won it. Because that was
It might be the third season.
it's his second. Got to be going on the third now, man. Got to be
Well,
because
then what
last
did he
wasn't his
do?
rookie season.
No, last year wasn't. The year before. Well, Wentz went on
Last
two
season was his rookie
teams.
season.
Wentz went on two teams, so yeah.
Yeah. It's
And played for Washington
it's
It's his
Jalen's
third year.
third season, and it's Brock's second. So again, I mean, first year Brock can say, "Hey, look, I never lost."
Well, the first year that we played, it was his first game. He came in against the Packers, and because Wentz was playing, and we were all hyped because he drove down, and then he had a good game against the Saints and a pretty good game against the Cardinals, and that's when he was like, "All right, this kid can ball. He can play." So that was like his first incarnation to that. Am I still on the
Yeah,
screen?
but the question becomes is that he has the weapons. Brock Purdy did that with not everybody that Hurts has had. I mean,
He came in with a better defense than the Eagles, and he
that
came
doesn't
in
mean
with
any. That
George
doesn't mean
Kittle, Debo Samuel. What we're
Debo
talking about is
Samuel was
wins. He
hurt
came with
most of the time. He
and
had
he had
that. He had
Brandon
that high
Ayuk, and he
grade.
had the best running back in the NFL.
Debo Samuel had a high ankle sprain most of the year.
Yeah, but he also had Chris McCaffrey and Brandon Ayuk plus George Kittle.
I mean, now with the whole I feel like with Christian McCaffrey, that was like Christian McCaffrey, like brand spanking new on the squad. It wasn't like C-Mac, and plus also C-Mac coming off injury last season. So I mean,
And he was playing scared half the time because he's not
yeah, oh
going to
yeah,
get hurt again.
he definitely had. I think more so the 49ers were more so scared than what C-Mac was. I thought C-Mac wanted to touch the ball more, but I think they
Yes,
had him on a pitch count. They
yeah,
didn't want him to.
Jalen.
They didn't.
Excuse me, don't mean to interrupt, but yeah, it is his third year because they played the Buccaneers. We made the playoffs and lost to the Buccaneers.
Yeah, got smoked. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, we got killed by the Buccaneers.
Yeah. Wait.
So it's third year.
No, was it? No. Wait. Y'all played
Yeah.
the Bucks last. Yeah. That's what
It
it
was
was.
the
Yeah,
year.
I'm,
It
I'm
was the
thinking
year the
about.
Rams
I'm thinking
won.
about the. Yeah. I'm thinking about the year that the Bucks won it. That was when they played.
No,
They
we didn't make
played
the
Taylor
playoffs.
Heineke in the first game, and Heineke gave him all he could, but obviously it's Tom Brady. But yeah, no, like I say, I mean the Niners. I mean, you can say the Niners offensively, It's kind of shocking to me how well that the Niners play, but that's also a testament to Kyle Shanahan. With those injuries that they sustain on the offensive side of the ball, many teams, if you get those kind of injuries, aren't that's essentially it. Like, it's over with. We got a good deep. They would have been essentially relegated down to what the Baltimore Ravens were. Not saying obviously because obviously the Ravens got into the got into the playoffs, but I mean, whenever you're down your offense essentially with one guy, I mean it just goes downhill. So it's a massive credit to the coaching staff for being able to get a guy on the fly who's coming off injury last season, get him in a situation where he could thrive in. All that with a seventh round quarterback and get to the NFC Championship game, and it literally takes him. You literally have no quarterbacks on your roster. That's what it took for the Eagles to be able to win that game convincingly. But
Which one? The Giants
hey,
game?
no,
It's all
but I
good.
was talking about the
It's all up in the air. It's gonna be
what?
the Niners game. Yeah. Well, all right. Well, it's fair. I'm excited to see Brock Purdy next year. We did just cover all the NFC East. Are we gonna cover? Did you want to cover the AFC East as well?
I mean, what time is it? If we go through it like 30
Well, wait.
seconds, yeah. Your boy got to get in the
That's not
bed.
much. We'll just do the NFC East and then we'll talk about it later. We'll have Matt back on for the AFC East. I do
Oh
want
yeah.
to play something with Matt before we go. Matt, how keen are you with NL and AL MVPs in baseball? Like in the last 10 years? How far back do you think you could go?
Shoot, I don't really. I mean, we'll give it a try.
Well, I got the last 12 MVPs in both leagues. I was thinking of a game we could play. If you get one of them right, you move to the next one. You just have to get one of the MVPs and see how far back you can go. All right? If you get both, that's a bonus. All right? So last year, who was the MVP for both leagues?
You got Otani, and you have. Dude, I don't even know. I'm not good with keeping up with this stuff. Yeah, Otani had
62.
I don't even know.
St. Louis.
St.
We got
Louis?
Paul
Paul Goldsmith, yeah.
Paul Goldschmidt. And then Judge won MVP for the AL this year. Otani was 21. Ooh, do you know? Yeah. I want to see how far back I can go. Didn't make it far, but that's okay. I'm trying to see how far back. 21 for the NL.
Freddie Freeman.
1 year off. You got the right order.
He
You
was,
just
he was
1 year off.
2020. Yeah, he was 2020. And then you got 21 within like. I'm trying to think who.
Made me smile.
Oh, Bryce Harper. He won it.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yup.
have a COVID year is jinky.
Kind of a silly one.
I think
But yeah.
Mookie Betts.
Again, 1 year off.
He was 19.
Yeah, he was 18.
18.
I wouldn't have done this one. There you are.
No, Altuve was
Jose Abreu.
Yeah, Altuve was 18,
Nice.
wasn't
17.
he? 17. Dude, I'm like 1 year off on all of these.
Exactly. Well, we'll do World Series champions. We'll see MVPs all the way back there.
I'll go back
But,
to 2011. I'll give you the NL MVP because it was the biggest snub that would ever be recorded. Ryan Braun beating Matt Kemp in the MVP voting. I will always remember that.
One of the most talked about MVPs of all time.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, definitely a fun one tonight. We'll have you back on to do the AFC East, and the works. But you got anything to close us out tonight?
No, not much. I was just gonna say, let's try to make this more frequent. I have a good time on with y'all guys.
I'm glad. We're always having fun. We open a lot more and we talk a lot more freely when you hop on. You've seen the episodes in the past. We're more debative and more, voice and opinion. It's nice. It's good. Adds more entertainment. Let's have a nice meeting. But great having you on again. Anytime, of course, we'll have you on within the next episode or within the week. Talk about the AFC East and let's wrap it up on mine. Jay, you got anything to close out tonight?
No, of course, always, man. Appreciate you for being on. To me personally, you're like the main guy who comes on. So obviously, you already know anytime you want to come on, definitely. Glenn, another one in the books, of course. Same old, same old. Counting down. Say obviously we're getting into that stretch of the year where sports are, the focal point. Football season right around the corner. Then we got MLB playoffs starting. Then we got NBA. So I mean, sports is right around the corner. So be on the lookout for a lot more content, a lot more like up to date. Obviously, with the season coming, fourth quarter breakdowns will probably be coming back as well. So make sure you guys stay tuned into that. But outside of that, I don't really have anything else.
Hey Glenn,
Yes,
I
sir.
do have something I wanted to bring up with y'all. Is that one day we need to go play golf, the three of us, and you two scramble me, see who wins, and we'll give something away for whoever guesses the right winner in the comments.
I'm down with that.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Well, anytime. How long?
I'm good for a double bogey. So
Well, y'all can scramble me, and we'll see who wins.
We'll play scramble, which means we'll be using mostly my shots. So yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be good. I'm down for that. We'll work it out whenever you get back. Or are you back now? Or
Yeah, I mean, I could come back at some point coming up soon, so we'll work it out.
I'm down for that anytime. I'm definitely down. Always love a good competition. Always down for that. But yeah, we'll stay tuned for it. We'll look forward. Thank you again for hopping on tonight, my guy. Always a pleasure. Always glad. Another entertaining show. But yeah, that'll wrap us up for tonight. Y'all be safe. We will see you soon, all right?
all right, my guys.
Nothing. We're still recording.
How do we stop recording?
Come on, breathe.
Oh, I'm an idiot.